Different departments of the company sharing information in different locations, such examples like for the presenters.
An NFC is a computer hardware component designed to allow computers to communicate over the computer.
Network interface card provides computer with a connection to the network, but also handle an important function.
All network interface cards feature speed ratings such as 11 megabytes per second, 54 megabytes per second, or 100 megabytes per second that suggest the general requirements of the computer.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
Analog signals for transmission or analog telecommunication software, and we modulate to receive analog signals to show the digital data transmitted. Next one, what's that?
Modems used in digital networking data between the analog form used telephone lines and standard dial-up networks modems transmit data at a rate from 56,000 bytes per second. Broadband modems are currently capable of DNS servers or internet servers with more advanced techniques to achieve much higher network speeds than traditional modems.
And modify it and send it to firewalls.
Okay, Kennedy, you take this one.
Cons. It seems it all works, so basically you get it even if you don't want it. And pros, well, yeah, it's cheaper.
Just go back a second over that. They got their own applause, did they?
Right? It stops anyone from hacking into a system, right? It stops them from basically viruses. It stops them from placing worms and other criteria corrupting systems, right? But they can learn to
I'd like to see James know, just to be fair, I'd like to see James just present this way, please, thanks.
Thanks very much, lads.
Network switch. A network switch is a small hardware device that joins multiple computers together with one local area network LAN.
Switches compare nearly identical to network ports. Switch is capable of determining where data came from and who was meant for. There's a diagram there. So it's data sent from here, it doesn't have to come through here. It goes straight to the target computer.
Okay, so we'll talk about the router, which is successfully in pictures. This is a hardware device that routes data from a local area network LAN to another network connection. The router acts like a consort machine, allowing only authorized machines to connect to other computer systems. Most routers also give log files about the local network activity.
And as you can see on the diagram, the internet signal is coming through the modem, and router or switch is splitting the signal to different machines like PCs or video games, and they can have also different operating systems. So that's the little diagram.
Okay. Server is any combination of hardware or software designed to provide services to clients. The function of a server computer is to store, retrieve, send files and data to computers on its network. There are different types of servers. You are email server, chat server, and audio video server.
Functions of the server are like file sharing, file storage, user security, authentication, data transfer.
It can also be used for printer sharing, save disk space in your hard drive, user management, like you want to log in with your password, etc. And depending on what type of server that it dictates a different type of protocol.
Different protocols they use, like file transfer protocol and SMTP,
Which is used for
mail,
email, very good. Okay. Was what we're talking about there. A server can be any given machine really. This smaller machine here could act as a server too. So what governs it as a server typically is the software that goes on it. So rather than using Windows XP in a machine, if you use
the Server 2003 operating system or the Server 2008 being the latest operating system. That's what governs it having the power to be a server machine. Most servers will manage user accounts, so when you log on with your username and password, they are set up on the server, and the server, Eddie explained it very well, that the server governs who gets into the system by the user account. The security in our system is, if you don't have the user account, username and password, you don't get onto our system, so you can't hack it or do anything on it. Most servers manage user accounts, as I said, and they as well as shared resources like files, folders. User account can be attached to an email system. You can also share your printers as well, and as I said, scanners, by hooking them all up to the server or getting them to talk to the server. The next device was a gateway, and all you need to know about a gateway is that if you have one network and another network and you want to join them or have them intercommunicating, that a gateway is the device that will do it. A gateway can be a server that talks to another server. An example of where a gateway could work is in this college here. If we were to go to a different building and set up our art department across on O'Connell Street somewhere, and users there wanted to retrieve the data from the server here from the shared drive, a gateway linking the two networks would be an appropriate device so that you could fetch that information easily. It could be a switch, one of these could be a hub, one of these could be a router. Looking at them physically, it's hard to know, isn't it? It's what's inside there, what goes on in the intelligence of the box tells you what device is what. Okay, we'll get our wires out here. I want to transmit data and I want it to go to Ling. If you're on a hub, it goes out to everybody. So you have a lot of redundant traffic bouncing around my network. This is in, it's for you, good. It's not for you. So you don't want 100 people getting redundant data. So the disadvantage of a hub is you're sending out redundant data. The big advantage of a hub, because it's a less intelligent device, Sean, when I asked him earlier, said, yeah, if it's less intelligent, it's going to be cheaper. Now in the olden days, more people used hubs because there's a huge price difference between a hub and a switch. But the prices of switches are really going down. People typically don't use hubs and they use switches more now. What is a switch on that point is just like a hub, except when I send that data again down the line, it's not going to go over here to anybody else. It's going to go to the person who wants to receive it because it has the intelligence to look at the address of the packet of data that I'm sending and know where to send it. That's a switch. And then we have the router. Now the router has what a switch and a hub is, but a lot more. You can, it can do different jobs. It usually has a bit of an engine. It can do things that a server can do. It can hand out what's called an IP address. You won't understand what an IP address is for a few weeks, but when we get our head around that, a router has the intelligence to do that. A router can have a firewall inbuilt into it.
A firewall basically is.
Okay, that was very good. You're very natural there. You could hear it well, and you took your time and presented it well. Okay, so the style of presentation was good there. What we used.
Where it can be used in when you mean it can be used in.
We had one here, I didn't never see it.
Oh, you have it. Okay, so tell us about it. So, what's your?
Start stored inside, so it's pornographic, we have it.
Okay, so we can't get onto the website, or I can't get onto my pattypower.com in the college area because, or my ladbrokes.com account, or my Betfair account because there's a firewall there blocking all those kind of sites.
Restrictions.
So I have to wait till I get home. Yeah. Or the
A wire on it. A wire. I'm still here.
Do you want to move the slide on there?
Yeah. And or home.
And then we'll focus on the device that makes
One scanner or shared one scanner.
What's a gateway? What's
A gateway was explained by the first group, so I'll go over that again.
Sorry,
Okay, so a server.